I've made some inquiries into the Imperial Court. The sooner we deal with the threats to the Empress, the better. The political situation in the Empire is dangerously unstable. It will complicate matters.
Everything in the Empire complicates matters. It's the Orlesian national pastime.
Turn your nose up at the grand game if you like, Commander, but we play for the highest stakes, and to the death.
The Court's disapproval can be as great a threat as the Venatori. We must be vigilant to avert disaster.
I don't care about Orlesian politics. Just get me to the Empress.
Of course, Inquisitor. Celine is holding peace talks under the auspices of a grand masquerade. Every power in Orlais will be there. It's the perfect place for an assassin to hide.
We need to attend this ball.
I'll arrange for an invitation at your discretion, Inquisitor. Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment. Where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Will we be taking heads right here in the hall?
Goodness, no! If such an option is available, it will be done elsewhere. And it may not be necessary. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you. You recall Gerion Alexius of the Winter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination, on your own life, no less. De Winter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former Magister as you see fit.
After what he's done, it's time someone did.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
Your magic was theoretically impossible, Alexius. I could use people like you. Your sentence is to serve under guard as a researcher on all things magical for the Inquisition.
No execution? Very well.
Have you met this friend of Varric's, Inquisitor?
Not yet, no.
It had better not be who I think it is. I will wring that little bastard's neck.
Why? Who do you think it is?
Someone Varric claimed he could not contact. Someone the Inquisition, indeed all of Thedas, desperately needed. I'll reserve judgment until I know for certain. No need to have that rogue screaming persecution yet again.
Do you have any advice for me?
Treat Dorian with caution. It's possible he could be what he seems, a Tevinter mage wishing to do better than his countrymen. What if he is not? At best, his presence makes the Inquisition appear to have questionable allies.
I'm told you have Alexius researching magic for you. Research is always what made him happiest. Perhaps I'll even go talk to him eventually. One word of advice. If he suggests altering time as a way to solve all your problems, give it a pass.
Inquisitor, meet Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Hawk, the Inquisitor. I figured you might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him, after all.
Impressive view. Reminds me of my home in Kirkwall. I had a balcony that overlooked the whole city. I loved it at first. But after a while, all I could see were the people out there depending on me.
You heard about Haven.
I have.
That's why we're here now. And why I have battlements instead of balconies.
May they serve you well.
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed.
The Grey Wardens were holding him, and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to influence them.
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them against each other.
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
You're giving me maybes. I need proof.
Then let's get you some. I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating something unrelated for me. His name is Stroud. The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks. Since then, nothing.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend disappear with them?
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing with the Wardens?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. It was red. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about it.
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium you describe.
Hopefully, my friend in the Wardens will know more.
If Corypheus has corrupted the Wardens, it may be too late to save them.
I understand. I'll do whatever's necessary to stop him. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time I'll make sure of it.
You knew where Hawk was all along!
You're damned right I did.
You conniving little shit!
You kidnapped me! You interrogated me! What did you expect?
I expected you to tell the truth! I told you what was at stake!
So I just hand her over on your say-so? It's okay, Hawk. This zealot isn't crazy. I promise. Look at her. She's finally lost it.
We needed someone to lead this Inquisition. Hawk was our only hope. She was the champion of Kirkwall. The mages respected her. And you kept her from us.
The Inquisition has a leader.
Hawk would have been at the Conclave if anyone could have saved Most Holy.
You can't change the past, Cassandra.
So I must accept... what? That the Maker wanted all this to happen? That he... Varric is a liar, Inquisitor. A snake. Even after the Conclave, when we needed Hawk most, Varric kept her secret.
She's with us now. We're on the same side.
We all know whose side you're on, Varric. It will never be the Inquisition's.
That's unworthy of you.
I must not think of what could have been. We have so much at stake. Go, Varric. Just go.
You know what I think? If Hawk had been at the temple, she'd be dead too. You people have done enough to her.
I believed him. He spun his story for me and I swallowed it. If I just explained what was at stake, if I just made him understand. But I didn't, did I? I didn't explain why we needed Hawk. I'm such a fool.
What if you hadn't believed him and you'd tracked Hawk down?
Honestly, Hawk might not even have agreed to become Inquisitor. She supported the Mage Rebellion after all. She wouldn't have trusted me for a second. But this isn't about Hawk, or even Varric. Not truly. I should have been more careful. I should have been smarter. I don't deserve to be here.
We can't afford any more mistakes.
You think I don't know that?
I'm making sure.
I want you to know, I have no regrets. Maybe if we'd found Hawk, the Maker wouldn't have needed to send you. But he did. You're not what I'd pictured. But if I've learned anything, it's that I know less than nothing.
I heard you had family and friends in Kirkwall. Where are they now?
My brother's a Grey Warden. I had my friend Avenue take him as far from Orlais as possible. When all the Wardens started acting strangely, I had to keep my family safe. Meryl is helping Elven refugees who were displaced by the war. I didn't want to take her away from that. Meryl spent enough time fighting for her life with me.
I assume Varric's been feeding you information about the Inquisition. What did he say about me?
Only good things, I promise. I was a little surprised, actually. Varric isn't one for religion in general, but he thinks highly of the Inquisition. I think the exact phrase was, has a good shot at fixing Blondie's mess.
You said you thought you killed Corypheus.
The Grey Wardens had him imprisoned. They used my father's blood in a ritual to seal Corypheus inside. But he could still reach out and influence the Warden's thoughts. He sent them after me. And I didn't just think I killed him. When the fight was done, he was dead on the ground. Maybe his tie to the Blight somehow brought him back, or maybe it's all Tevinter magic, but he was dead, I swear it.
Where did you go after the mages rebelled?
I heard the Chantry might be sending an exalted march to Kirkwall to put down the rebellion. I hoped that leaving would save lives and force the Divine to divide her forces to come after me. As it turned out, I needn't have bothered. All the circles started rising up, and the exalted march never came.
I'd like to know more about Anders. What was he like?
I don't know if there ever was just an Anders. He was crazy. By the end, there was nothing left in him. Except this insane need to start a war no one could win.
Strangest thing. When I reached down, my dagger was gone. Just gone. Know where I found it? In a barrel. The thing was filled to the brim with daggers. Got the strangest feeling. I know someone took it right off my belt, but I can't recall who.
He hates it all because of the darkness behind the door. Some doors should stay shut.
I'd like to talk with you about Templars.
They're heavy with forgotten songs, like Varric. Some of them are too loud. It's hard to stay near them. Cullen is softer, but demons asked questions that hurt him. Evangeline was kinder. I want to explain, but Reese's mother spoke to spirits, but not to him. Then she died for a Templar he loved. Words just bounce off the edges.
What's your general opinion of Templars?
Some like hurting mages. It makes them happy, or less afraid, or dreams again. Woke up shaking, stalking the ground for one who looks like her. Always some rule being broken. But not all Templars listen when whispers crawl around inside them. They try to protect people, like Cullen. The good ones remember that mages are people.
Can you tell me more about how the Templars feel to you?
They feel older than they look. They've been changed, and their bodies are incomplete now. The lyrium helps, but their bodies always want to connect to something older, bigger than they are. That's why they block magic. They reach for that other thing, and magic has no room to come in. Like when I listen to Varric.
Can you tell me more about how the Red Templars are different?
The red lyrium is different, darker. Daggers under the skin. It eats you inside until you're nothing. They hear a different song. The song behind the door old whispers want opened. They are dead and dark and done.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
Our allies shouldn't expect luxuries when they sign on to fight the first Darkspawn.
There is a difference between luxury and a building with no holes in the walls. The mages are showing great trust in you. They need to feel safe here.
I'm more concerned about reinforcing Skyhold in case Corypheus attacks again.
I've had difficulty forgetting his assault on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
Corypheus will pay when I face him again.
I dearly hope that happens soon. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lady. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
I'd be delighted if you could conjure up a marble bath within the next hour.
I'll attempt to add that to the list.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. They're in full redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
If it's as powerful as you say, can we turn it to our own use?
Maker, not without abandoning sense and sanity. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
Where do we begin?
Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
You've joined a fellowship with a distinguished history. Knight enchanters have long served the divine.
I didn't choose this path to serve anyone.
Where you go on the path is one thing, where it starts is another. These traditions were forged by the Chantry's most trusted mages. That cannot be denied. No matter, you have chosen well, and are in good company. I had friends who were knight enchanters, who served at Justinia's side, who died with her. It's good to see new mages keeping this flame alive.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Sometimes it's best to talk these things out.
I was with the hero Ferelden when he defeated the Archdemon. The Maker brought us together, and then I watched him die. In that instant, I felt the Maker's presence grow cold. One moment a cherished child, the next, abandoned. And then, when Justinia was killed, I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause. Others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... all right. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
All right. Is there anything else that you've been hiding that I should know?
You want to hear about my childhood? Maybe what I had for breakfast? I told you what I knew when it became important.
I bet Cassandra regrets how things went back there. You should talk to her.
I appreciate that you're trying to keep the peace, but things between me and the Seeker are as good as they'll get. I keep hoping none of this is real. Maybe it's all some bullshit from the Fade and it'll just disappear. I know I need to do better. I'm sorry.
Really? You did not notice?
I had no idea Lady Beverly was one of your people. You might have told me before I embarrassed myself. The city has agreed to send us 6 guardsmen.
Not raw recruits. With luck, they'll know which end to grip a sword by.
Good to see you safe, Inquisitor. We've got trouble ahead.
Are the Red Templars here?
There's a few up in the hills, but for once, they're not our biggest problem.
What is?
Not our world, not our problem.
Crestwood was the site of a flood 10 years ago during the Blight. It's not the only rift in the area, but after it appeared, corpses started walking out of the lake. You'll have to fight through them to get to the cave where Sir Hawk's Grey Warden friend is hiding.
Let's get to it then.
Right, Your Worship. Good luck. Maybe someone in Crestwood can tell you how to get to the rift in the lake. Maker knows they'll want help. Good luck, and please be safe.
Cassandra, who's Regalian?
No one to concern yourself with.
You were thinking about the time you...
Now I'm thinking about something else. Can you guess?
My hat wouldn't fit there.
Glad you made it. I just got here myself. My contact with the Warden should be at the back of the cave.
I was a group of wardens out there hunting a senior warden. They said he was a traitor.
Of course they did. They may even have believed it. How much blood is shed by good men following bad orders? It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
My name is Toud, and I'm at your service, Inquisitor.
I need to know why the wardens disappeared. Could it have anything to do with Corypheus?
I fear it is so. When my friend Hawk slew Corypheus, Weishaupt was happy to put the matter to rest. But an archdemon can survive wounds that seem fatal, and I feared Corypheus might possess the same power. My investigation uncovered clues, but no proof. Then, not long after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
Maker, why didn't you tell me?
It was a Grey Warden matter. I was bound by an oath of secrecy.
You think Corypheus is using this calling to control the Grey Wardens?
Not precisely, your worship. The calling warns a Grey Warden that his time in this world grows short.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes. Likely because of Corypheus. If the Wardens fall, who will stand against the next Blight? It is our greatest fear.
So, Corypheus isn't controlling them. He's bluffing them with this calling. And they're falling for it.
Is the calling they're hearing real, or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I know not. Even as a senior Warden, I had heard only the vaguest whispers of Corypheus. The Wardens believe that this calling is real, and they will act accordingly. That is all we know for certain.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Sadly, yes. It lurks like a wolf in the shadows around a campfire. The creature that makes this music has never known the love of the Maker, but at times, I almost understand it. We must uncover what Corypheus has done and end it. This cannot stand.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I cannot say. We know little about him, save that he is dangerous. He is a Magister, as well as a Darkspawn, and speaks with the voice of the Blight. That lets him affect the minds of Wardens, since we are tied to the Blight ourselves. It must be how he created this false calling.
We need the Warden's help. This is the worst possible time for such a lunacy.
We are the only ones who can slay archdemons. Without us, the next Blight will consume the world. Warden Commander Clarel spoke of a blood magic ritual to prevent future blights before we all perished. When I protested the plan as madness, my own comrades turned on me. Grey Wardens are gathering here, in the western approach. It is an ancient Tevinter ritual tower. Meet me there, and we will find answers.
I heard what he said. Hopefully we'll find some answers in the western approach. Though I fear what those answers will be. I've seen too much blood magic to ever trust where it leads.
Something in particular you require?
I see I've touched a nerve.
I suppose I do need your help. We saw so many Red Templars at the assault on Haven. Perhaps all that was left of the Order. What we didn't see was Lord Seeker Lucius. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. But the Seekers began this war against the mages. They cannot have simply vanished. There must be a trail we can follow. Yet so far I have only discovered hints.
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
They're gone. What difference does it make where they are?
I don't expect you to understand. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
The anchor's nothing more special than a misfired spell.
At least you had the good fortune to take it from Corypheus. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
It's not pain. It's more like my nerves go on fire.
It sounds most unpleasant.
As leader of the Inquisition, you... There's something I must tell you.
All right.
Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
Why are you doing this?
After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
You shouldn't have done this in the first place.
I have to do this. What future can there be outside the Order if I don't try? I believe in this Inquisition. I would serve out of loyalty, not blind obedience.
Cullen, this isn't the time.
The Inquisition's army must always take precedence. I will consider what you said. We cannot neglect our soldiers' training.
Can we neglect roads? Our allies cannot take the same route through the mountains we did. And what else did Lady Forsythia say?
That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition.
Anything else?
She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother.
That does sound like her.
Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention.
You always do find the brighter side of things. We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Nevarra, your worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
She'll have us flogged alive.
I believe she meant flayed alive. Her ladyship tends to confuse metaphors when she's excitable. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
Do you always apologize for bloodthirsty nobles?
It's the usual showmanship expected from those in power, Inquisitor. Nothing more. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss. Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Gennard still won't respond to our letters. And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt without mustard stains on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
2.5 hours, I think. But no one's counting.
Oh, dear. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
No one else here has your experience, Josephine. Or your stories.
I'll try to curtail their length next time. But I leave feeling less troubled than I have in weeks.
Corypheus is back. Oh, shit.
You said he was a Darkspawn, or a Magister. What is he really?
I'm not sure. I don't think Corypheus really knows either. He's definitely a Darkspawn, but when we found him, it was pretty obvious he hadn't heard that. He thinks he's a Magister, a priest of Dumat, in fact. He says he broke into the Golden City, like in the Chantry tale.
We'll talk to this warden friend of Hawk's and draft a plan to kill this Darkspawn.
We didn't just think Corypheus was dead. He was dead. No pulse, no breath, full of stab wounds. There wasn't a lot of room for doubt. It makes me wonder. I thought the wardens imprisoned Corypheus to use him. Maybe they did it because he can't be killed.
How did you and Hawk even wind up in a Grey Warden prison for ancient Darkspawn?
Corypheus sent people after Hawk. He actually got control of an entire Carter clan. Made them drink Darkspawn blood. Weird shit. We tracked the Carter to an old dwarven fort or something in the mountains. Of course, it turned out to be a trap. They needed Hawk's blood to open the locks holding Corypheus, and they drew us into the prison to get it.
Nothing is unkillable.
I'm not so sure about that. Do the things in the Fade really die? Maker's breath, what have I let loose?
Brutally murdered is not really the same as unleashed upon the world, Varric.
In this case, it might be. But you've got more important things to do than listen to me worry. Just let me know when you want something shot.
Something wrong with your tea?
It is tea. I detest this stuff. But this morning, I need to shake the dreams from my mind. I may also need a favor.
But you don't need anything from anyone. You're known for that.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages, forced into slavery. I heard the cry for help as I slept.
I thought you didn't have any friends besides spirits.
I don't.
So who is this?
My friend is a spirit of wisdom. Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
Do you have any idea what the mages want with your friend?
No. It knows a great deal of lore and history, but a mage could learn that simply by speaking to it in the Fade. It is possible that they seek information it does not wish to give, and intend to torture it.
I thought spirits wanted to find their way into this world.
Some do, certainly. Just as many Orlesian peasants wish they could journey to exotic Rivain. But not everyone wants to go to Rivain. My friend is an explorer, seeking lost wisdom and reflecting it. It would happily discuss philosophy with you, but it had no wish to come here physically.
All right. Let's go get your friend.
Thank you. I got a sense of my friend's location before I awoke. I'll mark it on our map.
Inquisitor, welcome to the Exalted Plains, a place with a long and bloody history. Even now, the region is volatile. This was a front in the Civil War. Now there's rebels called the Freemen of the Dales, recently emerged and adding to the chaos.
This is where the elves made their last stand, isn't it?
Ah, you've studied the Dales. Yes. When offered a chance to lay down their arms and surrender, they refused.
This rebel group, tell me more about them.
They seem to be simple deserters, tired of fighting and dying for either the Empress or the Grand Duke. Now they want the Dales for their own. Worse, they're more organized than we anticipated. Be wary.
That will be all. Thank you.
With the rifts and the undead, the Orlesians have lost ground. Most have been driven back to their forts. We have to stabilize the region, allowing the Imperial Army to re-establish its presence. Good luck, Your Worship. You'll need it.
Thank you for this, Inquisitor. We are not far from where my friend was summoned.
Everything here is blurry. It wants to forget, but now the rocks are solid.
My friend. Ah!
The mages turned your friend into a demon.
Yes.
You said it was a spirit of wisdom, not a fighter.
A spirit becomes a demon when denied its original purpose.
So they summoned it for something so opposed to its own nature that it was corrupted. Fighting.
Let us ask them.
A mage! You're not with the bandits? Do you have any lyrium potions? Most of us are exhausted. We've been fighting that demon.
You summoned that demon! Except it was a spirit of wisdom at the time. You made it kill! You twisted it against its purpose!
I understand how it might be confusing to someone who has not studied demons, but after you help us, I can...
We are not here to help you.
We came to help your friend. Any way to do that now that it's a demon?
You cannot befriend a demon? However amicable it might appear, it must...
Shut up! You summoned it to protect you from the bandits.
Yes.
You bound it to obedience, then commanded it to kill. That is when it turned. The summoning circle. We break it, we break the binding. No orders to kill, no conflict with its nature, no demon.
What? The binding is the only thing keeping the demon from killing us. Whatever it was before, it is a monster now.
Inquisitor, please!
I've studied rituals like this. I should be able to disrupt the binding quickly.
Thank you. We must hurry!
Tel Abalos en Asel Atalim. Mamilava Halani. Malasuladinadas. Magilani Midinan.
Manuvinen. Dareth Shara.
I heard what it said. It was right. You did help it.
No. I must endure.
Let me know if I can help.
You already have. All that remains now is them.
Thank you. We would not have risked the summoning, but the roads are too dangerous to travel unprotected.
You tortured and killed my friend.
We didn't know it was just a spirit. The book said it could help us.
Damn them all. I need some time alone. I will meet you back at Skyhold. Inquisitor.
How are you, Solus?
It hurts. It always does. But I will survive.
Thank you for coming back.
You were a true friend. You did everything you could to help. I could hardly abandon you now.
Where did you go?
I found a quiet spot and went to sleep. I visited the place in the Fade where my friend used to be. It's empty. But there are stirrings of energy in the void. Someday something new may grow there.
What happens when a spirit dies?
It isn't the same for mortals. The energy of spirits returns to the Fade. If the idea giving the spirit form is strong, or if the memory has shaped other spirits, it may someday rise again.
You're saying your friend might come back?
No, not really. A spirit's natural state is peaceful semi-existence. It is rare to be able to reflect reality. Something similar may reform one day, but it might have a different personality. It would likely not remember me. It would not be the friend I knew.
The next time you have to mourn, you don't need to be alone.
It's been so long since I could trust someone.
I know.
I'll work on it. And thank you.
Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. Just a little thing, really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
I won't agree to anything without details.
Smart of you. I wouldn't dream of wasting your super important time. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Vershel. Land squabble. They're getting little people beat up. So I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk through town.
Just walk through?
Just walk through. Easy, right?
Was this a tip from one of your friends?
Not a Jenny. Just normal angry people getting sick of being in the middle. I don't usually hear about things this far away. But having a friend like you is like getting really big ears. Bigger than normal, I guess, because we both... Never mind.
Who's asking for this?
I'm asking, because I heard people complaining. See, when nobles fight, it's not them. It's their little people stuck in the middle. It's like a polite war, so no one pays attention. But if you march through, the people up top feel threatened too. Stuff like this is always happening. Good sovereigns to be made if you're one of the few who notice.
What does the Inquisition get out of this?
Nobles think everyone is out to get them. So when your helmets march through, both sides will think the other's your ally. Both get scared, both make deals. Worst case, you get a little bump among the people just because they see you active. Can't promise anything, but something will happen. Just like always.
All right, Sarah. I'll have someone look into it.
It's fun, right? Being important without doing a thing. Well, not much of a thing. Not everything has to be torn skies and ancient arseholes. Every little thing makes a difference somewhere.
Any news on rifts beyond reach of the Inquisition?
Yes. And it is not good.
Inquisitor.
Watch the treasury carefully, with that Sarah present.
You think she's here to rob us?
Possibly not, but I would hardly put it past her.
I hear Vashel was good pay for you, Inquisitor. Time to go see if my friends came through too. Got a location for a stash. Hopefully something nice for my trouble. Well, your trouble. Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets.
Who's putting up the reward for this?
Don't know. Sometimes it's pass the hat. Sometimes it's I lifted this from Master's vault. Doesn't matter, does it? Job done. Time to get what we're owed.
I'm ready if you are.
Always, yeah. My favorite part, this. Let's go see what friends can get us. Wait, this is weird.
What?
I was expecting a village or something. The people that leave me stuff don't trek out to places like this. Give me a city and I'll give you a tour, but surprise, surprise, I don't know stupid woods or ruins. What's that?
Don't hurt me. Harmond made me do it.
What's your name and why are you here?
He made me come. Said I had to lead him to her because I said things. It was just bar talk.
This was supposed to be a simple drop. What's going on?
You're her. You're the one he's waiting for. It's her. She's here. Red Jenny.
This is a tragic misunderstanding. Let's all sheathe our swords, you walk out, and we'll conduct this like business.
Don't believe this pissbag. He started it.
There. That wasn't so hard, was it? We identified the confusion, and we worked past it. I'm Lord Pel Harmond. I do hope, Inquisitor, that you continue to respond to reason. After all, your choice of company is hardly virtuous.
Freaking user you are. Another noble prick who punches down.
We're the same, you and I. Well, that is overstating it. You are nothing like me. But we both need people.
Well, say your piece.
Of course. No more rash mistakes. Honestly, previous to this very moment, I thought you'd also been tricked by these Red Jennies. Despite your foreign nature, as Inquisitor, you are a social peer. I attacked them on behalf of us both.
Arse biscuit.
Quiet. Inquisitor, Herald, I don't want to be your enemy. I'm barely invested in being hers. If you are willing to recognize an opportunity, we could be exceptional partners.
Nothing is free. What do you expect from the Inquisition?
Access, Inquisitor. Your diplomat is wisely selected.
Josie has better taste than him, yeah?
Lady Montilier knows a wise acquisition. Or perhaps can be made to see one.
Stop talking to him. Really, just stop it.
You were up to something in Vashel, Harmond. What was it?
If you mean bettering my wealth and position, I'm always seeking that.
By getting people hurt?
Lady Shell Morveau and I were jockeying for the land south of Vershel. To claim land, you must populate it. My people encouraged hers to leave. Her people answered in kind, etc. Really, it was all terribly standard displacement until your troops seemed to change the balance. Well played.
Tell the snot splash no already. Not saying again.
What would you be willing to commit to the Inquisition?
Why even ask?
Because a leader needs such information to make informed decisions. My family has ties across Lower Ferelden. Our presence in Orlais is recent, which is why I resorted to subterfuge. We have militia elsewhere, and they can be made expendable for your purposes.
3, 2, freaking done!
Now what was the point of that?
Mother puss bucket, friggin' bastard, shitebag, pissface. Eating you lop-eared son of an arsenal,
Sarah!
piece of...
Sarah!
What?
What are you doing? He might have been useful.
You don't listen to his type. They get in your head.
I decide that. Do you understand?
Loud and clear, yeah. Clearer than it's been. Friends, Inquisitor. Better than his lot any day. What? What do you want? Because I'm still angry. Angry face. And you should thank me for stomping the smile off that arse. He was getting in your head.
I don't tolerate people questioning my decisions.
But that was just...
I don't want to hear it. I'm leading too many people to put up with this.
Pissing me right off, Inquisitor. We keep up like this, it's... well, it's not good, right?
I need all the help I can get, but consider this a warning.
Well, understood. Hop to and all that. If you need me, I'll be waiting for some barking arse to give me orders. So hard to get. Stupid. Everyone.
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven, should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. But it's something at least.
Vivian.
My dear Inquisitor, whatever can I do for you?
You're meddling with my fortress.
Your fortress? Darling, Skyhold belongs to the Inquisition.
This is ridiculous. Stop acting like a child, Vivian.
Thus speaks the Inquisitor who has made so many mature and level-headed choices lately. Setting malcontents loose among the population with no safeguards to stop them should they turn into abominations. Very wise. I rearranged some furniture. Lives are not thrown into jeopardy by this. Perhaps a little perspective is wanted here.
Quit the needling and the snide remarks. If you want to pick a fight, pick a fight.
I'm not fighting with anyone, darling. I merely wanted to see what you'd do. You are the current leader of the Inquisition. It's good to know your limits. And now I do. Be a dear and run along now, Inquisitor. I have so much to attend to.
Gloat all you like. I have this one.
Are you sassing me, Commander? I didn't know you had it in you.
Why do I even... Inquisitor.
Leaving, are you? Does this mean I win?
You're taking this rather seriously.
He is, isn't he? You need to come to terms with my inevitable victory. You'll feel much better.
Really? Because I just won. And I feel fine.
Don't get smug. There will be no living with you.
I should return to my duties as well. Unless you would care for a game.
Prepare the board, Commander.
As a child, I played this with my sister. She would get this stuck-up grin whenever she won, which was all the time. My brother and I practiced together for weeks. Oh, the look on her face the day I finally won. Between serving the Templars and the Inquisition, I haven't seen them in years. I wonder if she still plays.
You have siblings?
2 sisters and a brother.
Where are they now?
They moved to South Reach after the Blight. I do not write to them as often as I should. Oh, it's my turn.
All right, let's see what you've got.
This may be the longest we've gone without discussing the Inquisition, or related matters. To be honest, I appreciate the distraction.
We both have work to do. There's nothing wrong with focusing on it.
True. I believe this one is yours. Well played.
Roderick was sorry before he died.
I wasn't aware you and Roderick were acquainted.
He was hurt. Red inside from the Templar, but red outside from the Templar too. Needed help to walk. Limping, light, leaning on the young like old Pepe when the road was icy. He called me a fine young man. He said he was sorry for what he did to you.
You didn't try to end his suffering, did you?
No. He was dying already, and he welcomed it. The pain wasn't too much. He saw it at the end. Loving light, open arms. Andraste taking him home. He was happy. And sorry.
Did he tell you why he was sorry?
Blood everywhere. Monsters, madness, dying. We're all dying. The Herald stands against it, and heads turn. Desperate and simple. Pure. Voices in the chantry. Years since I'd sung the song and felt it flowing through me. But this is real. This is real. So long since I'd felt it. Falling, flying, faith. And I fought her. Make her forgive me. I hope I did enough.
Inquisitor?
The Arcanist has arrived.
You should see for yourself.
Hello there.
Well, don't just stand there slack-jawed. Let's figure out what you need.
You're the magical advisor?
Oh, you're her. The Inquisitor. I'm Dagna. Arcanist Dagna. It's an honor, your worship. Is that it? The hand anchor mark? It's pretty. Reach was pretty, too. In a destroy everything sort of way.
If you know your business, let's get to it.
Oh, I do. Of course, that depends on what you need. I've looked at Harris devices. Precision is fantastic, but typical. Mundane. Old thinking. No disrespect meant to the classical trades, but you need a new perspective. I've made adjustments. As long as I keep making them, you can craft just about anything. Almost safely.
You seemed impressed by the anchor. What does it look like to you?
I heard what everyone says what you heard Carifia say. It's a long chain of who said what. To me, it says key. But keys do a lot of things. Open, lock, switch. Some open one thing, some open everything. It sounds like Carifia's made it to open, but it looks like you can use it to close. It may be that simple. It sure is pretty. Wish I could see through it.
You were quick to join the Inquisition. Is there something you want?
How could I waste a chance to get close to you? And Carifius, my goodness. And actual physical rifts in the Veil. Also, dwarves? We don't dream. So, when mages talk about it, I can only, well, dream what it would be like. So there's that, and all the things you'll probably find, and what I'll get to make. Rules are different here. Plus, you're paying me a lot. Like, wow, so much.
What qualifies you to be an Arcanist?
I took the title because I'm a magical researcher, philosopher, and master of practical application. And I like it. I can't actually do magic because I'm a dwarf, but that also means no risk of possession. Safer than a mage. It means that every skill I have, I've learned through reason and understanding. Coming from the Smith caste, I know the value of mastering the craft. Did you know dwarves invented enchanting? Probably.
Where does a dwarf go to study magical theory?
Get out. I asked myself that question for years. Turns out, not in Orzammar. I had to start at a circle. I had to fight to do it. Everyone said I couldn't. Everyone. I swept floors in libraries, traded runes for tomes. I met outsiders like me, new thinkers. If there's something to know about magic, I'll find it. There's no barriers to what magic can do, Inquisitor. No matter what they say.
Any news on rifts beyond reach of the Inquisition?
Yes. And it is not good.
You read the report?
It was unusual. Is he always so blunt?
Yes.
Welcome to the Western Approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Awfully vague for a scout's report.
Apologies, Inquisitor. I'll try to get a better survey of the area once we've established a forward camp. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place, it just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
It was a game, but more than a game. It meant he would get a family.
Competition brings passion, Cole. And passion lets people attach import to trivial things.
Why didn't they help at the end?
People wish to accomplish the truly great things on their own.
They didn't give the boy what he wanted.
They did. The boy got a family.
They gave him a new one. He wanted his old one. I would have done it better.
The wise must sometimes give people what they need, not what they want.
What are you two talking about?
It will make little sense unless one has spent more time in the Fade.
Lovely. Tell me we won't be fighting that creature.
I'm glad you made it, Inquisitor. I fear they've already started the ritual.
It has to be blood magic. I hope we can stop them before more people get hurt. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death, I'm sorry. Sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you. Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
You are no warden.
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
I've killed demons before. If I have to kill a few warden mages as well, so be it.
You may have to kill a few, yes. Wardens, hands up. Hands down.
Corypheus has taken their minds.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Even to Vinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
So you manipulated the Wardens to build an army of demons for Corypheus?
Just so. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They're now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool. As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god-kings here in the world.
So Corypheus influenced the Wardens and made them do this ritual?
Made them? No! Everything you see here, the blood sacrifices to bind the demons, the Wardens did it of their own free will. Fear is a very good motivator, and they were very afraid. You should have seen Clarel agonize over the decision. Burdens of command, I suppose.
Why would the Wardens try to kill the old gods?
A blight happens when dark spawn find an old god and corrupt it into an archdemon. If someone fought through the deep roads and killed the old gods before they could be corrupted... Woof! No more blights, ever. The Wardens sacrificed their lives and saved the world.
That's madness! For all we know, killing the old gods could make things even worse.
Well then, it's a good thing I'm taking this demon army off their hands.
Why would Clarel risk using demons?
Demons need no food, no rest, no healing. Once bound, they will never retreat, never question orders. They are the perfect army to fight through the deep roads. Or across Olay. Now they are bound to my master.
That's all I needed to know.
Oh, please. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you, in the event you're foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
They refuse to listen to reason.
You were correct. Through their ritual, the mages are slaves to Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Of course. Sacrificed in the ritual. What a waste.
The mages killed their fellow Wardens. Nothing can justify that.
I don't care about justification. It's past time to take arms against the Wardens and stop this madness.
The Wardens were wrong, Hawk. But they had their reasons.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I believe I know where the Wardens are, Your Worship. Erimond fled in that direction. There's an abandoned Warden fortress that way. Adamant.
I want these Wardens. We cannot let Corypheus gain an army of demons.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
It's a noble calling, the Knight Enchanter. You have joined the ranks of the most select mages. You should be commended. So few have the discipline necessary.
I didn't realize you were a Knight Enchanter, Vivienne.
Of course I am, darling. Knight Enchanters serve in the highest echelons of the Chantry and Circle. Where else would I be?
It was an easy decision to join the finest mages in Thedas.
It always is, my dear. But not everyone can manage it.
How can you possibly oppose freedom for your own people?
Perhaps the Dalish are too isolated to grasp the realities of this world. All mages live lives of limited possibilities. We are denied fairness due to an accident of birth. But no one said that life was fair. The world is not made up of mages and Templars or circles and chantries. There is no us and no them. There are only people. People who must share a world which is not portioned equally among all. My own people want a larger share of the world, uncaring that they have already been granted great power.
It doesn't matter that the world isn't fair. We should make it fair.
Fair to whom? The wolves howl and claw at the fences that hold them back. Take pity and you let them loose among the lambs. And what do the sheep do? Panic. And the scent of their fear drives the wolves to attack.
They destroy themselves then. And they deserve it.
Then how curious that you care what my opinion might be. Let them fight it out and see who is right and who is dead. I care for the witch hunts that will come. I care for the angry mobs who string up mages on gibbets for the vultures. I care that my stupid brethren will kill and be killed by frightened people defending their families from monsters. I will stand in opposition to that, whatever you may do.
I tracked that Venatori mage back to Adamant Fortress. They're looking at assault options now in the war room.
Thanks for coming.
You did well, Varric. The Inquisitor is just who we need.
Oh, it's been great. Murderous wardens, archdemon attacks, plenty of blood mages and crazy Templars. Just like home.
I know how much you hated leaving Kirkwall.
This is the ass end of Thedas. You know they eat snails here? Still, I think I need to finish this out. If it weren't for me and Bartrand, none of this would have happened. So much for changing our lives.
And that's what happens when you try to change things. Things change. You can't always control how.